The 7th over.
No, I like it. I mean, still got that first slip in. You know, how often do you see captains put a mid-wicket in this situation? But there's still a little bit in this wicket. Keep the fast bowlers going, and hopefully can stifle them through the middle with fair-class spinners.
So Shakib Al Hasan and Mosaddek Hussain are the two spinners for Bangladesh that we'll see through the middle overs at some stage. All seams so far. All Tuscan Ahmed from the cathedral end. Into Collin on 15. Delivers here. Collin driving straight to cover. I say straight to cover. That's a great diving stop by Lytton Das. The opening bat had work to do to his right. And his teammates come over to give him a pat on the bum. Saving 4. Stays at 1 for 40.
As wicket-keeping skills came into play there.
Yes. Yes, they're blessed with a few different wicket-keeping options, Bangladesh. And they're going with Nurul Hassan, who was in the action against Zimbabwe at the end. Stumping a Zimbabwean player in front of the stumps, breaking a free hit. It was all happening at the Gabba. 2 balls left in Tuscan spell. He's been fantastic. He goes at Collin on 15. Bowls here, Collin. Works it into the onside where there's no mid-wicket. It's weighted well enough to consider a second, but KL Rahul sends Collin back. Collin 16, 1 for 41.
Bangladesh might have to lend a few wicket keepers to Australia, because Matthew Wade goes on and nobody knows who's going to keep. Everybody's there getting the gloves on and giving it a go.
I would love to see David Warner keep. Now that would be good.
Glenn Maxwell had the gloves on at training last week.
Actually, I did see that on the screen.
Wouldn't that be something? You can imagine Maxie saying, you know what, boys, I've got it.
I got it.
I've got it. All good.
There wouldn't be a lack of confidence in his ability.
I did it in under 12. It's fine. Last ball of Taskin's outstanding spell. None for 14, his analysis. Deserves a wicket. Into KL Rahul. He's 22. Bowls here. Rahul defends. Waits it well. Drops it at his feet. Just in front of the man at point. End of 7 overs. 1 for 42 the score here at Adelaide Oval. With Collin 16, Rahul 23. And our coverage for Host Plus. That's a plus.
If you've got to build it, lift it, power it, floodlight it, do it right with Oz Equipment Rentals. They're helping Aussie industries go higher by supplying access equipment, lighting towers and materials handling equipment to the construction, mining and roadwork industries. If you are building a new runway, a new road, a new warehouse, a new highway, the name you want is Oz Equipment Rentals. They also support community sporting clubs like Lara Cats, Werribee Centrals and the Ultima Kangaroos. Visit ozequipment.com.
SEN T20 World Cup cricket for Host Plus, that's a plus. Huge game this. Shakib Al Hasan won the toss and said, we're going to back ourselves to bowl. We can't wait to take on India. They've beaten them once in all the T20s they've played across the last 15 years. They nearly did it at the 2016 World Cup, losing by a solitary run, and Shakib now gives himself the chance to bowl for the first time. Phenomenal record, 125 wickets at 21 in this form of the game. The number 1 all-rounder in the world for the majority of the last decade. His first deliveries to KL Rahul on 23. Make that 24 down to long on. Might even be 25 if Collin comes back. He does. Good running. 2 from the first ball. 1 for 45. Rahul up to 25. You would have faced Shakib many times across the journey. Why is he tough to face?
I think just with his subtle changes of pace, his use of angle, and just the left-arm spinners going away from a right-hander's bat, you always sort of... I think the more I faced him, the better I got against him, but just a wily old campaigner. I mean, he's been fantastic for, as you said, for over a decade. To come in here and captain his side. Obviously, India play spin very well, but he's been a...
Bowls here. KL Rahul plays him watchfully, but there's a big old gap out at cover. No fielder on the circle. They get through for 1. He's 26, 1 for 45 India. 2 balls into the 8th over.
You've also seen a lot of KL Rahul, Ross. A lot of pressure on him going into this game.
I think he's a class player, and there's a lot of players who probably haven't scored as many runs as we would like, but I think that little flick off his hip.
Bowls here to Collin, Shakib. Round the wicket, left arm spin, taken down easily to long on where Lytton Das does the fielding. Collin up to 17 from 14 balls, 1 for 46.
And that little flick off his hip, I think, we've been on the receiving end of that a few times, but just that little bit of confidence. It's one of his trademark shots, and I don't even think he got it out of the middle of the bat, and it still went second tier.
Shakib bowls again, bit shorter, gives Rahul the chance to rock back and pull, and bisect the 2 sweepers on the leg side rope out towards Cow Corner, but That was with some class. He moves into the 30s from 25 balls. He's in a couple of sixes and a couple of fours, and India reached their first milestone. 1 for 50, 2 left in the 8th over.
A lot of Indian flags around the ground of different sizes and shapes. They were all up in the air even before the ball crossed the rope.
Shakib Al-Hassan delivers here. Rahul again going back, this time cutting. Can't find the gap at backward point. They still shuffle through for a single though. Bit of a bobble there from the fielder on the edge of the circle. That was Hassan Mahmood, 1 for 51. Now India, last ball of the 8th over coming up. So their run rate just above 6 after being sent in. Need to go through the gears now. Both men have got to start. Collin on structure keeps Fuller. Virat Kohli punches it out comfortably to deep cover. He'll retain the strike. 8 overs gone. India 1 for 52. Kohli 18. Rahul 31. And SEN T20 World Cup cricket is for Host Plus. That's a plus.
There's someone in New Zealand you should meet. We call him Tane Mahuta. He's a protector here. A kaitiaki. Born before Cleopatra, Socrates, William Shakespeare, he stood here 3 generations, 1,000 years before any person would. What's it like to meet the god of the forest? Well, he'll be here if you seek 100% pure New Zealand.
Virat Kohli has now made in excess of 1,000 runs at T20 World Cups, more than anybody to play in these tournaments. He's up to 1,019, overtaking Mahela Jayawardene, who made 1,016. Yet another milestone for the Indian great. As we said before, he's made 5 tons on this ground, Ross, and the only time that India have played a T20 here, he was player of the match back in January 2016, easily accounting for Australia that night. Loves Adelaide. Loves these occasions. Shoreful bowling now. Cathedral end, his second over. Driven by Kohli. Beating the man at mid-off. Down towards the rope. Work to do for the long on who's racing around. He doesn't get there in time. Another 4 for Virat Kohli that takes him to 22 from 16 balls. And India to 1 for 56 from the first ball of the 9th over.
That wasn't a bad delivery ever. Just leant on it. It shows you how big these boundaries are here at Adelaide Oval, that long on was nearly able to come around and chase that in, but a great start for Kohli. Just looking like this is ominous signs for Bangladesh at the moment.
So Shoreful has been swung around to bowl from the Cathedral end. Left arm over to Kohli here. Has a little nibble at one. Goes past the outside edge. Was playing from the crease. No footwork through to the gloves of Nurul. Good response.
Sublime innings he's played in this World Cup so far. This has been a bit of everything from Virat Kohli. Boundaries, edges, plays and misses. Ross, you've seen Virat Kohli grow up in front of your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I just love his busyness, I think. The way he's running between the wickets. There's a lot of pressure on him leading into this World Cup. And I think he's answered his critics.
Shoreful passes umpire Brown, bowls here. Going back is Kohli, inside edge, ends up with the man racing in off the circle at short fine. He gets 1. Kohli 23, 1 for 57 as a plane flies right over the top of Adelaide Oval. What a sight that would be. From the left-hand side of that plane, watching India go at it.
I think
Bangladesh.
I think their pilot's a fan. I think he's deliberately done that.
I saw a couple of Indian flags sticking out of it.
What a treat it is to be here at Adelaide for this. Two sides that do not like each other at all. A number of the players that were there at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in 2016, Bharat, not least Virat Kohli. He's down the non-strikers end now. Rahul on 31, facing Shoreful over the top of mid-on. No fielder there. Has it got the legs to go all the way? Yep. Ends up in the 3rd row. KO Rahul's 3rd big one. He's 37. India up to 1 for 63.
Wow. I think with both mid-on and mid-off up, we thought it was going to bowl short, pitches it up, and that's at least 15 rows back.
Yeah, on the replay for Beaumont tiles, need bathroom wear, choose Beaumont's. That went a fraction further than I thought, to the far side of the ground, to the back of that first.
And it's a no ball.
And a free hit.
Dear. Second no ball from him in this innings would be a costly one.
Sorrowful, yeah, watching it back here. on the Beaumont Tiles replay screen. It was definitely a no ball, called accurately by Richard Illingworth upstairs. Shariful brought into the side tonight to bolster Bangladesh's seam attack. Has to play his role here. Bowls to KL Rahul, and it's way wide of the off stump. Tried to aim it at the tram tracks, instead adds another sundry. The free hit will roll on, 1 for 65.
You played a lot in front of Indian crowds. That noise can get to you, right?
Very much so. Anytime, anywhere in the world. The number one supported team.
There's that great line from Harsha Bogle, who said years ago, India don't play away games. And that's certainly the case.
That is very true.
Oval tonight. Rahul on 37, free hit continues. Shariful here, lifts it over, deep backward point. That is some kind of shot. He squeezed that out. Wow, fabulous batting for a man who's come into this game notionally out of form. Wide of the crease, aimed at the tram tracks. How about the wrists? He's 43.
Wow, that's a shot of the day for me. That's fantastic. Obviously a free hit. He knew he had a free rein, but just to open the blade. This is what Indian fans wanted. KL Rahul getting into a bit of form.
That's like a hockey shot into the top corner. He just opened the blade at the perfect time and had the strength through the forearms to get it all the way into the crowd. 2 sixes in the over. Shariful under the pump.
Is he going to go again?
Suddenly that run rate's up to 8.2 and over. Shariful bowls to KL Rahul, who cuts past backward point into the gap, down towards the rope. It's 4 more. He's 47 from 29. This is a welcome return to form. 1 for 75, Bharat.
Absolutely. It's very rare that you see boundaries in the 8th or the 9th over being celebrated by the two batters out there. But Virat Kohli's been charging down the ground. It's giving him high fives. He's enjoying it as much as KL Rahul is. He knows the kind of pressure KL Rahul was under coming into this game. And this is just class batting.
Now he's got to get out of the over, Shariful. Last ball here. It's been a massive over. Gets to the crease, bowls to Rahul on 47, who plays down towards mid-off, gets an easy single. He'll retain the strike. The stumps are thrown down for reasons best explained by the man at mid-off. The score moves along to 1 for 76. So 24 runs coming from that Shariful over. It gave Rahul the chance to reach 48 from 30 balls. Collin down the other end on 23. SEN T20 World Cup cricket for Host Plus, that's a plus. 1 for 76.
This November, Brumby's Bakery is once again partnering with Movember, the leading global men's mental health charity. For the month of November, you'll see Mo's on Loaves in all Brumby's bakeries. With 30 cents from every Mo loaf sold going to Movember, there's never been a better time to break bread with a mate, a son, a father, a partner. Buy a loaf and start a conversation. Our dough can help save a bro. Brumby's, handcrafted by local bakers.
Long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square for Shakib Al Hassan. First over went for 10. Bowling here at KL Rahul on 48. Delivers here, Rahul. Plays out through point. He's placed it well. He should get 2, and he does, through comfortably. Gets his half-century. What a good innings this has been. KL Rahul, 3 single-digit scores to start his competition. Raises his bat out towards his teammates in the pavilion. He reaches 50 from 31 balls. He's hit 4 sixes and 3 fours. And you get the sense, Bharat Sunderson, he is on to go big tonight.
Every single member of the Indian team is on his feet, clapping away, clapping over their heads. That's the sign how much they enjoyed it.
Shakib bowls to KL Rahul again. Top edge, short fine leg, opportunity, gone. Completely against the flow of play. Shakib Al Hassan gets the key wicket. It's Mustafiz Rahman running around there. Had a long time hanging underneath it. And that will change the game. 2 for 78. Ross Taylor. KL Rahul was dominating and gets out from the most meekest of top edges, almost on the back of the bat. How did that happen?
Very innocuous. It is I guess maybe in that situation you're celebrating it, you get your 50, you switch off slightly. But that doesn't take away from what a fantastic innings it was you put it into context, you talk about the situation of the game being a must-win and the form that he brought into this. But you take one player out, and probably the world number one batter at the moment, I think, will soon to be, Sky, has been an unbelievable form. Not a bad player to bring out.
Surya Kumar Yadav made 68 in a losing effort against South Africa, but nearly dragged them to the finish line. 51 not out from 25 balls against the Netherlands. A brisk cameo of 15 against Pakistan, and yes, only 65 runs away from reaching 1,000 T20 international runs in the calendar year. He'd be the first man to ever do that.
I mean, and he's got a career strike rate of 177. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Now, it looks like drinks are on the field as well, so we'll take this opportunity to take a breather on SEN T20 World Cup Cricket, the host plus. That's a plus. KL Rahul out for 50, India 2 for 78.
If you got to build it, lift it, power it, floodlight it, do it right with Oz Equipment Rentals. They're helping Aussie industries go higher by supplying access equipment, lighting towers and materials handling equipment to the construction, mining and roadwork industries. If you are building a new runway, a new road, a new warehouse, a new highway, the name you want is Oz Equipment Rentals. They also support community sporting clubs like Lara Cats, Werribee Centrals and the Ultima Kangaroos. Visit ozequipment.com.
Up here to KL Rahul, he goes big and over, deep backward square. He gets plenty of that. Catch it, backward point. He's gone. Rohit Sharma doesn't get a second chance here. Big uppercut down towards deep third, lands just in front of the sweeper there and reaches the rope as well. Crease here at bowls, and that's Benner cutting over deep point. Wow, with aggression, with authority. 31, facing Sharapul over the top and mid-on. No fielder there. Hasn't got the legs to go all the way. Yep, free hit continues. Sharapul here lifts it over, deep backward point. That is some kind of shot. Plays out 3 point. He's placed it well. He should get 2, and he does, through comfortably. Gets his half century. What a good innings this has been. KL Rahul, 3 single-digit scores to start his competition. Raises his bat out towards his teammates in the pavilion. So we're in the 10th over of SEN T20 World Cup Cricket, the host plus. Third ball starting here. Shakib Al Hassan to the new man, Surya Kumar Yadav, who gets off the mark first ball with a single down to long on. It makes the score 2 for 79. The 2 wickets to fall so far. Rohit Sharma caught backward point for 2 from 8 deliveries from the bowling for Sun Mahmood. And then just before drinks, KL Rahul caught by Mustafiza from Shakib for an even 50 from 32 deliveries. Shakib bowls here, successful over so far, and Collin moves from 23 to 24 with a turn around the corner. Adam Collins, Bharat Sunderson, Ross Taylor with you on the call. Ross Taylor, one of the ICC ambassadors for this tournament. Good gig.
I can think of worse gigs, that is for sure. But I'm just enjoying this atmosphere. I mean, this is a neutral game in Australia.
Shakib to Surya Kumar Yadav, who takes 1 to mid-wicket. Collin wants 2. He'll be to the danger end, and he is rapid. Even had it been a direct hit, there was no way that was going to be out. Afif Hussain charging it off the rope, but Collin wanted it more. 2 for 82 now the score. We've got 1 ball left in the 10th over.
I just want to know one thing. I hope the gig also includes the trip to the Barossa Valley, Ross.
I've wintered well. I do have a day off tomorrow, so we'll who wants to go?
In. Shakib to finish here. Going back. Just beats the man at backward point. Not far away, Surya Kumar Yadav. That was uppish. But he does get a boundary. He does get away. He's 7 from 3 balls. India at the halfway mark at 2 for 86. But it was a successful over for Bangladesh, getting rid of KL Rahul. Our coverage is for Host Plus. That's a plus.
This November, Brumby's Bakery is once again partnering with Movember, the leading global men's mental health charity. For the month of November, you'll see Mo's on Loaves in all Brumby's bakeries. With 30 cents from every Mo loaf sold going to Movember, there's never been a better time to break bread with a mate, a son, a father, a partner. Buy a loaf and start a conversation. Our dough can help save a bro. Brumby's, handcrafted by local bakers.
Thanks congrats to Ross Taylor, who has joined us 2 nights in a row on SEN T20 World Cup cricket. Bharat, he's doing the rounds. Good job, that. You're one of the ICC ambassadors as well, aren't you? Maybe you could take him out tomorrow. Make a proper South Australian experience on the floor. Right, so Shorapul to continue. Cathedral end, bowls to Collin. Great diving stop at backward point. Nicks up. Had the throw been on target to the non-striker's end, Collin may have found himself in strife, but Lytton Duss, who is a wicketkeeper, has died there like a goalkeeper to drag it down and give himself an opportunity. We're going to get a second look here for Beaumont Tiles. Need bathroom wear, choose Beaumont's.
Virat Kohli, Adelaide Oval, Mumbai batter at the other end, near run out. We've been here before.
A test match here a couple of years ago under lights with... It was a Jinka Bahane batting with him, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much.
Vice captain. Kohli, yes, wasn't best pleased that night. This was the scene of the all-out 36 in bizarre test match to start the series that you've written a book about. It's coming out soon.
Yes. Coming out in March.
Go on, give it a plug. What's it called?
It's called The Miracle Makers.
Mustafiza Rahman in his second over. Bowls here. Suryakumar Yadav cutting hard and flat and out to the sweeper at deep point in front of the Max Bashir stand. They get 1, 2 for 88 the score in the 11th over.
Virat Kohli was batting like a genius that night, that evening. That was the only way Australia were going to get him out. Today has been, like we've said a couple of times, a little all over the place. A couple of classy boundaries. Mid-off seems to have gone back.
Some wonderful shots on television. Beaumont Tiles need bathroom. We're going to choose Beaumont at the sun setting. To the left of our commentary position. Mustafiza bowls and Virat Kohli slaps hard but straight to cover, where Tuscan Ahmed denies a single. That's always what you do here, isn't it? You sit up in the eastern stand and shoot across the back of the pavilion. Around this time of night, they are the best photos you can get in this city.
Oh, wonderful sunsets. Not just visible from the Adelaide Oval, go down to Glenelg or Henley. Cheap luck for Adelaide. Always fun to do that, you know that, Adam.
Kohli on 25, 2 for 88. Mustafiza to him here, pace off, and Kohli equal to it. Flat bats it down to mid-off, gets 1, 2 for 90. Kohli up to 26.
Because the gamble of Tuscan Ahmed bowling 4 overs hasn't come on board beautifully, India barely could lay bat on ball. And Shoriful, the guy who's come into the side going for a lot of runs, Shakib has a lot of thinking to do, a lot of young bowlers that he'll have to bank on in the death.
You've got to keep things in check here. If they go at 12 and over India, they'll reach 200. Mustafiza bowls and driving on the up is Suryakumar out towards deep cover. There's a sweeper out there though. They'll only get the second run rather than the boundary. He's out of the blocks. 10 from 5, 2 for 91. Still one ball left in over number 11.
Suryakumar Yadav has really made a mockery of these conditions repeatedly during this World Cup. Conditions where you talk about needing to get your eye in a little bit. He just comes in and starts hitting boundaries.
It seems bewildering that it took him until age 31 to play for India. He made his T20 debut against England last year. Got off the mark with a 6, his first ball in international cricket. At Ahmedabad there, and that's been the start of something pretty special after that bumper IPL season in 2020. He's on strike here on 10. Mustafiza pace off again, running his fingers down the seam. Suryakumar moves to 11, 2 for 93. End of the 11th over. So 9 to go. Mustafiza had 8 taken from that. Our coverage on SEN T20 World Cup cricket is for Host Plus. That's a plus.
If you got to build it, lift it, power it, floodlight it, do it right with Oz Equipment Rentals. They're helping Aussie industries go higher by supplying access equipment, lighting towers and materials handling equipment to the construction, mining and roadwork industries. If you are building a new runway, a new road, a new warehouse, a new highway, the name you want is Oz Equipment Rentals. They also support community sporting clubs like Lara Cats, Werribee Centrals and the Ultima Kangaroos. Visit ozequipment.com.
So Suryakumar on strike to the spinner Shakib, left arm around the wicket, and it's a top edge. Running back from short fine, there might be a chance. No diving effort in the end. There should have been a dive from Mustafiza Rahman. He tried to take it running. He didn't reach the contest. Instead, Surya Kumar adds a couple. He's 13. 2 for 94, but that should have been the proper dive, Bharat.
Yeah, very poor effort. Felt like he gave up, and Shakib Ul Hasan, understandably displeased.
So a bit of a chance there. Shakib bowls, Surya Kumar gets on the front foot, places a single out in front of point. He's 14 from 8 balls, 2 for 95. Just mentioned the story of Surya Kumar Yadav made 480 runs for the Mumbai Indians in their winning season of 2020. He found himself in the national team at long last. Collin on strike here. Plays it off his pads out the deep mid-wicket. Wants to, gets to. Ran the first one hard out to Lytton Das. 2 for 97. Collin 28 from 23. He's hit 4 fours.
We always knew in Mumbai that he was special. Adam Surya Kumar Yadav, he was a freak player.
Collin facing up, full delivery from Shakib again towards mid-wicket, but this time they'll have to settle for 1. Collin 29, 2 for 99.
I think it's just maturity, right? His wife has played a big role in his life. I remember visiting his parents. He used to live not too far from where I am in Mumbai. And how they just had no control over him. He would do whatever. He was a maverick. He would wake up at night. He would be playing carom board with the watchman.
He's facing Shakib here, Surya Kumar. Thick edge through first slip. Long straight boundaries in Adelaide. So there'll be an opportunity to hole it in. Taskin Ahmed doing the work there, having already sent down his 4 overs. The 100's up for India with 1 ball left in the 12th over. 2 wickets down. Surya Kumar 16 off 9, but that was a genuine thick edge, and it would have landed with first slip had there been a slip in place, which is rarely the case at this stage of a T20 innings.
Yeah, India playing this smartly as well. 3rd over coming to an end from Shakib. Mustafizur just has 2 left.
Shakib bowls here. Surya Kumar goes back and eases a single to deep mid-wicket. He's 17, 2 for 101 at the end of 12 overs. So 8 to go and some decisions for Shakib Al Hasan to make. He's bowled 3 himself, 1 for 29. Our coverage is for Host Plus. That's a plus 2 for 101.
At Brighton, homes are built for entertaining. So show off your kitchen and not the mess with a bonus butler's pantry, including a Fisher & Paykel fridge and double dish drawer. Plus, with ducted air, steel frame, flooring and solar included in all Brighton homes, all you need is the butler. But hurry, this bonus won't last for long. Entertaining is better with Brighton. Visit brightonhomes.net.au. T's and C's apply. QBCC 1250787.
So I mentioned some decisions for Shakib to make. He's only used 5 bowlers, and one of those is Hassan Mahmood. 1 over, 1 for 11. He's getting his 2nd over now from the Cathedral end, but I don't expect he's going to bowl 3 of the last 8. So we'll see a 6 bowler at some stage. Mossadegh Hussain?
I think that's their option. They use him in the depth. Yep. He bowled them to victory against Zimbabwe the other day. A lot of runs to defend though. These 2 are out there. They wouldn't mind facing an off spinner.
3 out on the leg side, mid on and mid off inside the circle. Bowling here. Oh, and Surya Kumar, first ball of the over, he's tried to whip it over deep mid wicket. Doesn't make contact. The ball goes between the bat and the off stump. Dot ball. It stays at 2 for 101.
Looked like he was aiming to hit that ball into his hotel room. Yeah, connected with that, those whippy wrists of his would have travelled over the Adelaide Oval, over the river, over the bridge, straight into their hotel that I shall not name.
Over the hills and far away. Mahmood to the crease here, close to the stumps. Bowls Surya Kumar over the top of mid-off, and that's what you can do when they're inside the circle. Doesn't middle it, doesn't need to middle it. His 3rd boundary. Surya Kumar is 21 from 12 balls. 2 for 105 India. We're in the 13th over.
They don't call him India's first ever 360-degree player for nothing. This is his strength. Back of the length. Nothing wrong with the delivery. Up and under he went. Beautiful shot from Surya Kumar Yadav. He finds such odd angles around the field. Very tough batter to bowl to, and especially if you're a youngster like Collin under pressure now.
Calculated hitting. Mahmood bowls here, and Surya Kumar does exactly the same thing. Same spot, same shot, same result. Back-to-back 4s. 2 for 109, and he's building. He's already up to 25. He's only been there for 13 balls.
He's already the number one batter in this format. They're talking of him as a 3 format player. Ravi Shastri's already said that. This boy's special. Yes, it's taken him a while to get to this level, but he's going to make the most of it. He's fitter than he ever has been. He's wiser than he ever has been. And he's hungry. He's hungrier than he ever has been. And he has a lot of his teammates and all. Virat Kohli, you can see how much he enjoys batting with him.
So third man comes up inside the circle. Will that be tempting for him? He's 25, Surya Kumar. Good response. Block hole Yorker. They get a single squeezed out to mid-on. Surya Kumar 25, 2 for 110. A couple of balls left in the over. So it was seen as all the talent in the world, but they just couldn't corral him early in his career. Is that the guts of why it's taken so long?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was lifestyle choices, fancy cars, fast life, all of that early on. And he got a reputation. And in India, when you get a reputation that, even if it's not true, that you don't take your game seriously as you should, there are a billion of people you're competing against. Nearly a million at least.
So Kohli back on strike, so deep third drops back. More conventional field. Mahmood bowls and Kohli predictably steers it straight to that man beneath us. Gets a single. Shariful Islam is the fielder there. 1-1-1 for 2. Kohli up to 30. 1 ball left in over number 13.
And that's why a lot of credit to his partner, his wife, who is